You succeed because of your actions and what you do every day, not from something that's written on paper. We knew already kind of what our core values were. When we sat down to write them and formalize them into Strive, it was kind of refreshing because everybody was pretty much saying the same thing.
Everyone in the room was in agreement with those immediately. It's things we had lived and done from the very beginning of the bank. So that was an easy part of just basically putting down and writing what we all knew we were doing and what we had done all along.
I think the Strive process came about as just a recognition that we wanted to do this and do it a little differently, where if we all come together and understand where each other fits into this picture and how we're all a part of this success story, that we're all working together toward the same thing, and if we can share that outwardly, it's just going to take us to even better, bigger and better places.
I think it's important that everyone understand where we've been and where we're going, and that we're not compromising on those core values that got us to where we're at, but we want to kind of parlay those values and instill those in our other employees, because we think that's important to getting to the next step in the growth of the bank.
Because we now have this Strive name to rally around, it just reinforces to all employees, new, old, that these are the core elements of who we are, but especially for the young people. But if we're just saying words and not modeling the behavior, then we've done nothing.
The Strive process, you know, it's easy to be a team when you only have one location. 22 years ago when you start, you had one location. So it's easy to see the daily examples of what Bob Zapp's doing and how he works with customers every day and how he treats people. So really this process is to get everybody on the same page there. This is what we expect. And I think we're a better organization for it.
You know, our culture that we started the bank was, we want to treat everybody, whether you have $1 million or $100, we're going to treat you the same. We're going to show you the same fairness. I think we're humble people, and I think that helps as far as people trusting us. They're loyal to us, but their loyalty goes both ways.
Success is such an individual feature and element. So at a community bank, we build our model around, we want you to be successful. We can't say how you define success. That's up to us to work with you to understand what your level of success is. So if that means you want to grow from 2 million to 10 million in sales, if you want to move into 10,000 square feet from 5, if you want to buy a house, if you want to guarantee a mortgage for your child, if you want to go to school, those are the things that define you and what you define as successful. We're going to help you. Because when you're successful, obviously then we become successful.
To me, our teamwork is truly what sets us apart. To us, it is a core strength, it's a power that we have. And we want to encourage teamwork, because you only learn when you tackle a problem and solve it and you're working with other individuals. When you're a loan officer and you can look at a loan and you have questions and you can talk to our head of credit, you can talk to our chief lending officer, or even our CEO to figure it out, that is teamwork that's unmatched. Our bank had to rally, like most banks, that I think really struggled with this when the financial crisis hit. And everybody remembers the summer of 2008 when FDIC insurance, banks were failing, we're in the throes of the financial crisis, and our people were amazing. They responded by getting a client. I often had clients call they were in tears, panicking, shaking. They would come into a branch or they would call. We would work as a group to talk to the customer, to ask them questions, make sure they understood make sure they understood the situation. And that happened a lot during the financial crisis. I think it tested our abilities, and we came through.
I think as an employee, respect is first of all, it's respect for your fellow employees, respect for the institution that you work for, respect for the shareholders that are funding the institution, and it's certainly respect for your clients and your customers that you deal with every day. I would certainly respect the talents that other members of management and other members of the bank in general bring to the table. I think it's a very major ingredient in teamwork. If I don't respect the talents and the education that other people bring to solving a client's problems, we'll never use them and never get the job done. And I think if you have that aura of you respect each person, you assist each person to the best of your ability, that's going to show up in excellence of service, and that's what we're striving for.
You know, to me, integrity is the most important building block in anyone's personal career, in any business's longevity and their success. There's always crossroads in your life where you have to sit and look at a situation and say, you know, what am I going to do? And to me, you just always have to do the right thing, and you know, in your gut, you know what the right thing is. To me, integrity is basically just being upfront, honest, straightforward with people, answering the questions you can answer, finding answers to the questions you don't know the answer to. And nobody's all-knowing, so you know, it's okay to say to somebody, I don't know, but I can find out, I can get that answer for you.
Go back to the church thing, time, talents, and treasures, we kind of do the same thing with the community. I would challenge anybody to find anybody who's done more in Northern Kentucky than us. You can start with the Bank of Kentucky Center at Northern, the Bank of Kentucky Field at Thomas More, the cardio van at St. E's, the new Gateway Urban Campus, you know, the Florence Freedom, what we do with the housing opportunities in Northern Kentucky. We really do put our money where our mouth is. And not just the money, but the people and the volunteer. And well, I think it gets you connected to the community. And it gets you out there with the people you want to be your customers. You know, you want to share they're just not a number to us. We're out there helping them. And again, we're only going to be as healthy as they are.
Striving for excellence, when you ask your employees to do that, they tend to rise to the top. We understand the difference between perfectionism and being perfect and striving for excellence. When you expect perfection, there's a lot of pressure on an employee because they feel like they can't make a mistake. But if you ask them to strive for excellence, you understand they're going to make mistakes. And what you want them to do is you want them to try not to make that mistake again, and you help them. To me, excellence in a customer relationship is finding some really good solutions for the customer, not necessarily selling them something. We're not here to sell you something. We're here to make your life easier.